is Vicinity 95.3 FM, Ikejile Ijesha. I'm AISHA IBRAHIM with Global News. First, the headlines. Human rights lawyer condemns premature political campaign. Central African Republic swears in President Faustin Archange for a third term. And Iran's foreign minister denies claims of negotiations with United States over Middle East conflict. Now the news in full. Human rights lawyer and senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has called for the immediate suspension of ongoing political campaigns, warning that premature politicking has continued to undermine governance and worsen insecurity across the country. Falana's position follows the rescheduling of 2027 general elections by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The Presidential and National Assembly elections was fixed for January 16, 2027 and February 6, 2027 for governorship and state houses of assembly polls. Despite the timeline placing election about 10 months away, Falana lamented that political parties and elected officials have intensified campaigns, sidelining governance and public service delivery. He noted that public funds were being spent on illegal campaigns instead of critical sectors. He therefore called on INEC and the Nigeria Police Force and the State Security Service to enforce compliance with the law. Federal government has successfully evacuated 1,230 stranded Nigerians from the Republic of Niger amid ongoing political instability and security concerns in the country, reaffirming its commitment to the protection and welfare of citizens abroad. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, through its spokesperson, Kemi Ibrahim, on Wednesday said the evacuation was carried out in 2 batches. The ministry explained that the operation was facilitated in collaboration with relevant national and international partners, particularly in the International Organization of Migration, whose logistical and technical support ensured a smooth process. The exercise reflects Nigeria's continued engagement with global partners in addressing migration challenges in a humane and orderly manner. The ministry reiterates its commitment to monitoring development in the region and engaging relevant authorities to ensure the safety of its citizens, commending the Republic of Niger for its cooperation during the evacuation process. Ibrahim first said, it reflects the strong bilateral relations between both countries and shared commitment to humanitarian principles. Away from Nigeria, Central African Republic President Faustin Archange has pledged to strengthen security and peace in the country after he was sworn in for a third term. He won his re-election with nearly 78% of the votes. The inauguration, attended by regional leaders and thousands of supporters, came amid ongoing criticism of his close ties to Russian-backed Wagner forces, a group that supports his government in exchange for access to natural resources. During his inauguration speech, Tudera said he was committed to promote national unity, boost the economy, combat corruption, and create jobs. The Electoral Commission for South Africa, IEC, has unveiled the official logo and tagline for the 2026-27 local government elections, saying the launch marks a major step in its preparation for the polls and signals that its readiness is already at an advanced stage. The Commission on Wednesday introduced a new election identity, which includes the tagline, "Get up, show up, vote," saying it reflects a forward-looking, voter-centric democracy and is aimed at encouraging greater youth participation ahead of the elections. It said the branding also reaffirms the Commission's commitment to delivering credible and accessible elections. Bujumbura Army spokesperson Gaspard Baratuza said multiple explosions were heard in the city of Bujumbura after a fire broke out late on Tuesday at a military arsenal in Burundi's economic capital. The explosion has been linked to an electrical accident in the ammunition store of Burundi National Defense Force based in Musaga. Baratuza urged the public to remain calm and avoid the surrounding areas, as relevant services have moved to the scene to assess the impact of the explosion and provide support. You are listening to Vicinity 95.3 FM, transmitting live from Ikejile, Ijesha. Global News will continue shortly.
Music, sports, entertainment, politics, all on your darling station, Vicinity 95.3 FM, Ikejile, Ijesha.
Thanks for staying tuned. For news updates and live streaming, visit our website at vicinity953fm.com.ng. You can also provide us information via email at vicinitynewsroom@gmail.com or call 070-6108-3107. Now the rest of the news. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has denied any claims of negotiations with the United States. No response to a 15-point proposal from Washington to end the war. Araghchi, in a media chat, insists that there is no ground for negotiations, despite some messages had been exchanged directly with United States Special Envoy Steve Witkoff. We call United States and Israel hit Iran in February 28. In February 28 strikes, killing the country's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Al-Khanami, the war has since escalated, spreading across the Middle East region. Meanwhile, diplomatic efforts involving Turkey, Egypt, and Pakistan have recently been launched in an effort to end the war. Last week, two senior Pakistani officials said Islamabad had conveyed a 15-point plan containing United States proposals to Iran to end the war. In the meantime, Iran has granted permission and passage to 6 Bangladesh flagged ships stranded in the Strait of Hormuz. Turkish National Intelligence Organization MIT Chief Ibrahim Kalin met with head of Hamas Political Bureau negotiation team Khalil Al-Hayya and an accompanying Hamas delegation to discuss the situation in Gaza. The meeting held in Ankara on Tuesday focused on Israel's ongoing attacks in Gaza, the worsening humanitarian crisis and illegal settler violence in occupied West Bank, and restrictions at Jerusalem's Al-Aqsa Mosque. Officials emphasized the importance of Israel fulfilling its obligations under the first phase of the Gaza peace plan and reviewed in detail the steps needed to advance the second phase. The Hamas delegation commended Turkey's efforts to promote peace in Gaza and Ankara's continued engagement on the issue. A bit of sports, music, fireworks, and an occasional round of gunfire erupted across Iraq's capital, Baghdad, early Wednesday after the national team qualified for the World Cup for the first time in decades. The Lions of Mesopotamia secured the country's first World Cup appearance since the 1986 competition in Mexico, with a 2-1 win over Bolivia on Tuesday night. The build-up to the match had been overshadowed by the outbreak of the Middle East War, dragging Iraq into the conflict. However, supporters still throng one of Baghdad's main shopping streets to cheer on their team. Iraq will now play in World Cup Group 1 against France, Senegal, and Norway. To end global news, another look at the main stories. Human rights lawyer and senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has called for the immediate suspension of ongoing political campaigns, warning that premature politicking has continued to undermine governance and worsen insecurity across the country. We told you that Central African Republic President Faustin Archange Touadera has pledged to strengthen security and peace in the country after he was sworn in for the third term. He won his re-election with nearly 78% of the votes. Lastly, we have Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has denied any claims of negotiations with the United States, nor response to a 15-point proposal from Washington to end the war. That was Global News. It was edited by Oyedayo Folongshaw. On behalf of the production team, I'm AISHA IBRAHIM. Thanks for listening. Please stay tuned for News Nationwide at 6 o'clock. Good afternoon.